Glowforge is a solid encased machine, and they are a pioneer. I have never, with my Plus and my Pro, have never had one issue with that machine. But I have a concern. I need somewhere to put my logo. Hey guys, I'm Ryan. I'm hacking things my whole life. I want to talk about something that is absolutely dear to my heart. It is laser cutting, and specifically in this episode of what I'm calling laser news. No one else is doing this. There's now it seems to be like 20 to 30 different folks in the laser engraving and cutting space. Now there's even water jets. I've actually asked Bailey at Glowforge how can I work at Glowforge? I love the community, the people. I love Dan's deep voice when he does the advertisements at the beginning of it. But I have some concerns, and I have a request at the very end of this short video that I want to ask Glowforge if maybe they could at least consider the idea a little bit. And it has to do with Apple CarPlay, or the model around Apple CarPlay. So let me talk to you about the things that I love about Glowforge, and then I'm going to tell you some concerns, and then I think that I will have started this laser news series out really well, because I'm talking about things without fancy videos, about things that really matter. Like, what if you bought a Glowforge, if you bought an X-Tool, an Omnitech, or a Wazer, or a X-Tool, are you actually creating what you want? Do you have the design skills to make what you want? Do you have the files? Do you understand the business and all that other stuff? So in this laser news series, I'm just going to talk about the facts about laser cutters, engravers, and really what the nuts and bolts, because it really doesn't matter what laser cutter engraver you have or laser printer. What matters is whether or not you're actually doing something with it, or if it's just like one of those ellipticals where it's collecting dust, or your robe from your bathroom. We're going to talk about a lot of things. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk to you specifically about Glowforge, and I'm going to get right to the point. All these companies can go under. All of them. X-Tool, they can go under. Beautiful advertisement. Unbelievable. But there are no guarantees. Even Lightburn itself, I started to look around and research the technology behind the software of Glowforge. And these articles are from 2018, talking about the technology that Glowforge app runs, the web app, and it is connected to the cloud, of course, but uses a Google service. That may have changed. I'm going to link the article that I speak about, and anything that I mention, I'm going to link down below. So one of the concerns about Glowforge has always been, what if the company goes poof, and then what happens to all the users that own these machines? Glowforge is an unbelievably solid machine. It's beautiful. It's contained. It does an extremely well, great, fantastic professional job at exhausting the fume. Whether or not you have an open window, a garage, or anywhere else, you don't really breathe anything in. Little things like the fan runs a little bit longer than the job to clean and expel all of the exhaust that's in it. Now, of course, everything around it, I've just loved the marketing. It is one of the most brilliant marketing campaigns I have ever experienced in my life. I'm 50 years old. I'm not 70, but I've experienced a lot in 30 years in business as a video person, as a crafter, as a maker. And Glowforge's, what they did with that marketing has been unbelievable. But there is something that I want to directly talk about, and it's going to be the request at the end of this video, and that is this concept of the Innovators Dilemma. The Innovators Dilemma is something that potentially happened to IBM. These new companies come on the market, and they're able to innovate with very small venture capital money, and they're able to make incredibly unbelievably innovative products because there's less rules. They're not able to they don't have to make their current customer base happy. They have to make a wider base happy. So there's things like these machines now, including Xtool, have rotary attachments. Whether or not you're in the business to engrave Yetis, I don't really do that, but whether or not you want to do that or not, it's something that Glowforge hasn't done yet. But in terms of the innovator's dilemma, when you innovate and you come up with a new product, and if you watch Shark Tank, Mark Cuban always says, be careful how many UPC codes you have. I think Glowforge has 3. They have the basic, the plus, and the pro. So that is really solid in terms of running a company. But what the innovation does is it lets people know you're alive, you're growing. Because in business, you are either growing or you're shrinking. There is no gray area. It's black or white. How brilliant was it to come up with a referral plan and then back it up with an unbelievable product? However, what happened was, I remember the investigation by Glowforge on how are all these people making these millions in referral money. And I was one of them. I wasn't making $1 million, but I certainly paid for my Glowforge. And a lot of people that have Glowforges, that's the ticket. People that Glowforge interviewed that were on their channel actually have switched over to a Thunder and no longer use Glowforge. Is their YouTube channel got an endorsement? So the YouTube channel, and I'm speaking transparently and honestly, they're really using what they got for free. And they made an arrangement with that particular company to use that equipment at all costs and potentially get rid of any other machine they wanted. They may be paying. It's called sponsorship packages. Okay, a lot of YouTubers don't talk about it, whether or not this is an endorsed ad or if it's not. A lot of the equipment that I'm being sent right now is most of it I have to send back, but a lot of it has to do with just my knowledge of the reason why I accept it is that I get to know what these products do, how they're built, how they feel, how they work. And one of the things that I learned after using the diode machines, especially with ones that don't have exhaust, is it is very difficult and potentially very unhealthy to breathe some of this smoke in. And you know what? And if you did it for business, it is unacceptable. You have to have an exhaust mechanism. And for a homeowner that's running a side hustle or some business, the Glowforge is a solid encased machine, and they are a pioneer. I have never, with my Plus and my Pro, have never had one issue with that machine. But I have a concern, and that's my request. The separation between Glowforge's software, the web app that runs on Google Cloud technology, that's much more demanding on the cloud than you think. Okay? All the processing power of other applications like Lightburn and 3D slicers for 3D printers happens locally on the machine. Fusion breaks that rule because Fusion 360, the 3D modeling program, they actually use cloud services in order to do some of the heavy lifting. So whoever were to make a secondary solution, and believe me, people have tried to make a hack solution to the Glowforge web app, except that particular site is closed right now. It opens and closes. I'm going to link that particular thing down there. I think it's the Glow Zone or something like that. That they need to understand it's not just JavaScript. You're actually processing, rendering, vectoring files that could be quite big. So have you ever noticed how the Glowforge app takes a little bit of time sometimes? Sometimes it is the processing. Sometimes it's the bandwidth. There's lots of reasons. So my request for you, Glowforge, Dan and Bailey and wherever, and I hope you have really exciting things coming. I certainly love and still want to endorse the Glowforge and have every intention on using it till it dies. But could you possibly split the companies in two, offer Glowforge as a web app similar to CarPlay, where everyone gets the power of the Glowforge web app? You remove this concern people have about whether or not Glowforge will go just like any other company would go. And believe me, I have looked at, I think, Focus and some other laser companies that have sent me laser companies, and they're no longer in business. And if you could separate that, that would alleviate the concern of the software being attached to the machine, and you still can sell digital files, but people, they will be separate. It still could be a business option for you, and you're going to make a lot of people feel really good. Or just give us an update, show us that something really cool is happening with the company, and I just think that the great things are going to come from a group like Glowforge that did such amazing things and have sold so many millions of unbelievable product. You have enabled so many lives to be created during the pandemic. So many people got to make things, launch careers. Certainly they upgrade their machine to big, huge, fancy machines that cost thousands of dollars. You have enabled people. I want you to continue to that enablement. I don't think you need a new product. I think that maybe the software needs to be separated from the actual machine. I've gotten a lot out of YouTube, and I want to pay it back. Whatever you do, make something that connects someone. Peace out. Bye.